こんにちは皆さん。
バトムです。
カッニミです。Dark Knight Reactors チャンネルへようこそ。フィリピンから。今回は
15 things that can't be seen anywhere but in Japan
に反応します。
チャンネルのクレジット。
動画を見てみましょう。
Doubt that Japan is one of the most well-known countries in the world, and for good reason. Aside from the fact that millions around the world support anime, Japan's claim to fame is its culture, food, and of course, all of the natural tourist destinations the country could offer. As a tourist, Japan, or Nihon, can offer you a lot of unique experiences that you can only experience in the land of the rising sun. So if you're interested in this country, let me show you some of the most interesting and unique things it has to offer. From public baths to the introvert foodie's paradise, Ichiran Ramen, here are 15 things that can't be seen anywhere but in Japan.
Let's see.
I'm curious about the introverted.
Number 15, public baths.
Yay!
Yes, onsen.
Bathing with strangers? I know, it's a weird question to ask, but if you've seen any anime or Japanese drama, then you might already know that in Japan, public bathhouses are a thing, and this might give you a little bit of a culture shock. Public baths are called sento in Japan, and it has a very long history. They originated in the 6th century, but they skyrocketed in popularity during the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868. Typically, people not only go to bathhouses just to clean themselves, but also to relax. I think we all know how a good soak can wash away the fatigue of the day, especially after a particularly stressful day at work. There are some things you should remember if you want to visit one of these establishments. Most of the bathhouses allow people with tattoos, but some don't. Also, the baths are separated based on gender. But of course, since it's a public bathhouse, there will also be people around you. You might feel awkward and self-conscious at first, but trust me, bathing in a sento or a hot spring bath is the perfect way to de-stress. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now.
Yes, we will.
Cat cafes.
Wow.
Here is the perfect cafe for you, especially if you're
you
a
have
cat
own
lover.
cafe.
Even if you're more of a dog person, you'll definitely still have a fun time in Japan's many cat cafes. What's so special about them? Well, aside from the fact that their interior is adorable, they're also filled with cute cats that pay for These cats roam freely around the establishment, and you can pet them or watch them play or sleep while you sip some coffee and eat some cake.
Yeah, let's pet those cats.
The cafe in Japan opened its doors in Osaka in 2004. Today, there are over 150 cat cafes in Japan, and Tokyo, which is Japan's capital and its most populated city, has over 39 of them. There's actually a reason why there are so many cat cafes in Tokyo alone. Aside from the expensive rent, most apartments in Tokyo have strict rules which sadly include prohibiting pets. Most people that want to see some cats visit cat cafes instead. Cat cafes in Japan aren't your typical Starbucks, and you might find that the coffee prices are a little bit more expensive. You're practically paying more for the experience than the coffee, so it's understandable.
Extra money
and
for
unlike
pets.
your usual cafes, cat cafes usually advertise a more comfortable and cozy vibe, so you're expected to take off your shoes upon entering the establishment. And of course, be prepared to have some cat fur on your clothes. Number 13, koi fish in the draining canal.
Koi!
Tell me, where else in the world can you see koi fish living in the draining canal? Most likely nowhere else but in this one city.
Do I look like koi?
Yeah.
I mean, in most cities in the world, the last thing you'd expect where fish would live is the drainage canal. Come on, let's be honest. You know how filthy they can get. And yet, in the city of Shimabara on Japan's Kyushu Island, the gutters are so clean that you can see colorful koi fish swimming by. And no, it's not just one or two of them. Hundreds of them treat the canals as their home. So are these amazing fish placed in the canal by the residents? Yes, but there's also another reason. The residents didn't arbitrarily decide to place fish in the water. In 1792, an earthquake and tsunami hit the city. It claimed over 10,000 people, but it left behind an abundance of freshwater springs. As a result, clean water flows freely through the city's canals. It's quite astounding because koi fish are creatures that need an extremely high quality of water for survival. Seeing these colorful carp thrive in this strange environment proves that the water here is very clean. Because of this unique attraction, Shimabara is now known as the city of swimming carp. Number 12. Blue traffic lights?
Yeah,
There are
first
traffic
time.
lights in almost every country
Yeah.
in the world. And just like many
It's
things, traffic lights have a universal
red,
meaning.
yellow,
Red means
and
stop,
green.
orange or
Green.
yellow means caution,
orange,
and finally,
yellow, orange,
green
yellow.
means go. But did you know that in Japan, traffic light signals are blue? To understand why
Why?
this is the case, we need to know a little about the Japanese language. Today, the
Okay.
word eo means blue, while the word
Oh.
midori means green. However, in Old Japanese, there are no separate terms for blue and green, and the word eo was used for both colors. Kind of confusing, I know. Originally,
yeah.
Japan used the green color in their traffic lights, but they still used the term eo for it, which again means blue rather than midori. And so Japanese linguists stepped in and objected to their government's decision to continue using the wrong term for the wrong color. Finally, in 1973, the government compromised, and instead of changing the word used to address the color, they just made the traffic lights blue instead. Well, technically, they just mandated that the bluest shade of green be used. That's why as you travel in Japan, you might encounter the mythical bluish traffic lights. It might take a little bit of time before you can get used to it. But honestly, it's not really so different from the usual green, yellow, red combo.
Yeah.
Number 11. Square watermelons.
Yeah.
If you play Minecraft or you just
love
like to
that.
try out unique food
Yeah.
in general, then you might want to check out the square watermelons of Japan. You might wander around the supermarket, and as you pass by the produce section, you'll see these cube watermelons in a much fancier display than others. They might look weird, but they're very common in Japan. If you want to get your hands on one of
I
these,
like
you
it.
might have second thoughts after hearing the price. They're on the
I
pricier
like
side,
it.
and square watermelons are
amazing.
definitely not one of the things people will buy on a whim. Ready for the price reveal? Their prices start from $100, and they can go up from there. What makes these watermelons special? Well, aside from their size, nothing else.
Seedless?
They taste like normal watermelon, but I guess you'd have less difficulty cutting cubed ones because of their shape.
Yeah.
Number 10. Capsule hotels.
Capsule
Would
hotel.
you be
I
interested
love that.
in staying in one of these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Claustrophobic? Probably not. Capsule
Oh,
hotels are definitely unique
claustrophobic.
lodging
I am not.
spaces. Just as the name suggests, they're compact, small, but still pretty cozy. They're the number one option for people that are on a budget. But many tourists also book capsule hotels just for the experience. Inside one capsule, you get a mattress, a blanket, a pillow, and some space to store your belongings in. And you'll also have a controllable nightlight. You can also typically buy a shower card if you want to take a bath.
Ooh.
Compared to other hotels, a capsule hotel is the best
Yeah.
choice.
We've
for those
reacted
looking
to
for
that
affordable
before,
single-night
yes.
accommodation. One
I remember
night
the
typically
video.
costs around 3,000 to 4,000 yen, which roughly amounts to about $30. But if you want a premium experience, some high-end capsule hotels also offer better accommodations for an additional price.
I know her.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Wine, coffee, and green tea bath. How
Oh,
would you like to bathe
I
in
didn't
green
know
tea,
that.
wine, or coffee? Why do you need to relax while soaking in warm water when you can easily have a relaxing tea bath? This is an
Oh,
exotic spa
you can
called
drink
the
it too.
Unison Spa Resort in Japan. The liquids here may be a bit unorthodox,
Ooh.
but hey, you only live once, right? It's time to live like royalty and bathe in wine. It's
Yeah.
not just about being lavish. There are actually some claims that bathing in wine will rejuvenate the entire
Can you
body.
drink it?
And one of the most notable figures to do this is the Queen of Egypt,
Rejuvenate your
Cleopatra.
body.
In unison, you can drink wine while bathing in wine.
Oh,
And if
thank you for
want to remove some
answering.
blemishes, sake is the way to go. If you want to boost your immune
Sake.
system, then a green tea bath will do the trick.
I'll go to
Going
green.
inside the Unison Spa Resort can be a pretty magical experience. Are you one of the people that can't start their day without coffee? Well, in Unison,
before.
you can start your day with a blast of your caffeine by
Now I'm
literally
okay.
immersing yourself in it.
This
One of
is
the spas
unique.
offers its visitors to
Yeah,
bathe with
it's my
coffee
first time.
brewed
My
with
first
water
time to
from
know
the
this.
natural
To
hot
know it.
springs of Hakone. You don't have to worry because fresh batches are added to the spring daily.
Oh.
Number 8. Bullet trains.
Yeah, we know about this.
Shinkansen.
Bullet trains are the fastest and the most convenient method of traveling. It might be a bit confusing though, so if you're bad with directions, it'd be best to research your route ahead of time. Thankfully, despite the very extensive railway network, there are signs and maps everywhere to guide you. The most popular and oldest line is the Tokaido Shinkansen, which runs through Tokyo,
Tokaido.
Nagoya, Kyoto, and Osaka. The bullet train of Japan is considered to be a technological marvel. Shinkansen are operated by Japan Railways. These trains run up to 320 kilometers per hour, and they're known for punctuality. You know the stereotype about Japanese people, especially those who are working. They value their time, and 1 minute is already a big deal.
They value
To
the
date,
time.
the Shinkansen is an efficient, fast, comfortable, and safe method of traveling. In fact, there have been no fatal accidents in its history. Recently,
Nice.
Japan started testing the next generation of bullet trains, known as the Alpha X, that can
Yeah.
reach speeds of a whopping
Alpha
400
X.
kilometers per hour. Although, for safety reasons, the speed limit they would mandate upon service is only around 360 kilometers per hour. Aside from its efficiency, riding the bullet train also lets you get a glimpse of Japan's landscape. Number 7. Fancy toilet.
Finds its
One of our main concerns when visiting a
I've
different
reacted
place is
this
the restroom. Are
last
they
week.
clean? Are they
It has
accessible?
a
It's
remote
common
control.
knowledge that Japan has a reputation for having clean
Self-cleaning
establishments and
toilet.
clean
Yeah.
public restrooms. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, that's
Yeah.
not all. Some Japanese toilets are actually
Look at that.
pretty fancy. Aside
Exactly.
from the fact that they're well
Self-moving
maintained,
toilet,
they offer
guys.
some unique features that your ordinary toilet doesn't have. These fancy futuristic toilets have a built-in bidet that you
Yeah,
can control.
futuristic.
Yeah,
It has a
bidet.
front and back stream depending on what business you have, if you know what I mean. This means you can clean yourself without needing to stand up. You don't have to worry about freezing toilet seats either, because these fancy toilets have heated seats. And during the hotter months, some toilets also have an air-conditioned toilet rim. And that's not all. They also have air deodorizers built in. And the fancier ones have a speaker if you want to jam while using the toilet. And there are even glow-in-the-dark options. It can be quite
Wow.
confusing to see the control panel there. For
Wow.
many of us, the drawings don't make any sense. But the longer you stay in Japan, the more you'll like using these innovative toilets. Number 6. Kawaii Culture. If you're an
Kawaii.
anime fan,
Kawaii
chances are you already
culture.
know what the term kawaii means.
Yeah,
Yes.
The
cute.
kawaii
It
culture
means
is
batang.
literally the culture of cuteness. The term can
Of
refer to
cuteness.
almost anything.
Oh, there.
To a
There's
person,
batang.
an item,
Madam.
or anything that's cute and sweet. In Japan, kawaii culture can be seen in almost everything, including clothing. I guess this explains the number of cute mascots they have. Have you seen how many
Pikachu.
Pikachus they have on the streets? Number 5. Vending machines.
Yeah.
Vending machine.
If we're talking about vending machines, Japan is the number 1 contender for having the weirdest and also the most
Weirdest.
awesome ones. In most countries, vending machines only offer you a limited brand of drinks. But in Japan, you can get pretty much almost anything from vending machines. You can get ramen, ice cream, toys,
Yeah, sure.
grapes, cakes,
Banana.
and even popcorn. How cool is that? The older
Very
vending
cool.
machines usually accept cash payments in 10, 50, 100, and 500 yen coins. But for the
Yeah.
newer vending machines, having no coins is not a problem because they can scan your card. These machines can drop you a hot meal
okay.
in less than a minute. If you look around, you can also spot ones that drop some onigiri, spaghetti, french fries, and even a face mask. You're probably wondering, is the food clean though? The answer? Yes.
Of
You
course.
know how
Sure.
Japanese people are when it comes to cleanliness. The
Yeah.
food almost always has an expiration date printed on its packaging, so
100%
you know that it's still good to eat.
Clean.
Number 4. Rent a girlfriend.
Huh?
Among the wonders of Japan is the
Really?
Rent a Girlfriend
Rent-
service.
Rent a girlfriend?
Yes, you heard that right. Japan has a service where people can rent a girlfriend for a price. There are a lot of companies that offer this service, and most of them have websites on the internet where you can browse which girl you want to avail.
Okay. Rent a girlfriend.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
surprise.
The first one is the coffee, tea,
Bath.
bath. Then this is our first time also to know that there's a rent a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks
Wow.
to this video, that too added to our knowledge.
Yes, OMG.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Services of. It might sound absurd, but it's actually
Rent
a
a
pretty
girlfriend.
serious industry, and there are a lot of
Rent a
requirements for
girlfriend.
someone to be an employee for a rent-a-girlfriend company. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, women with boyfriends are not allowed to apply unless they
Yeah.
have their boyfriend's permission. They also
Of
prefer women
course.
who are more aesthetically pleasing, if you know what I mean. And they
Pretty.
also
Of course,
prefer women who are
kawaii,
great at making
pretty.
conversation. I know
Yeah.
that it sounds bizarre, but rental services just like this one are actually becoming increasingly popular in Japan. More and more tourists are also looking forward to trying it as well. In fact, this isn't the only rental service you can have in Japan. You can also rent a boyfriend, a friend, or even a family member. Prices are different,
What?
But usually, companies will price 6,000 yen per hour for a minimum of 2 hours. That's almost $100. First-timers can usually
Ooh,
pick who they want to
expensive,
take out for free. But after that, they would need to pay an additional cost of about 2,000 yen, or about $15 to choose the one they want to take out. Number 3. Lack of trash cans.
Oh.
Japan is known for its safety and cleanliness. In fact, Tokyo has been listed as one of the safest cities to live in 2021. The list of safest cities is measured by using various indicators, including personal safety, healthy security, infrastructure security, and more. Overall, Tokyo is one of the most ideal cities to live in, if you have enough to get by with a high rent, that is. But if you walk around this bustling city, you'll probably notice something. The whole area might be clean, but you'll barely see enough trash cans. In most places, you'll pass by several trash bins while walking around the streets or in the park. But Japan is a little different. If you go here, you might run out of patience if you keep trying to search for a trash bin.
Like what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Clean streets. But there's actually a good reason why they reduced public trash bins. Ultimately, they reduced trash bins because of tragic incidents. This includes the Tokyo subway sarin gas attack that happened in 1995. On March 20th, 1995, the members of a cult released incredibly lethal sarin gas inside the trains. They did it during the early morning, right when it was rush hour. Because of the attack, 6,300 people were injured or lost their lives. The gas canisters that were used were wrapped in plastic bags and covered by newspapers. 3 major subways were targeted.
We didn't know that too.
So that
Massive
is
damage.
the
Because
serious
of the incident,
reason
people have
behind.
been
Yeah,
warned not to
my
leave anything
God.
suspicious in public spaces. That's
Oh
why
my
it's best to just keep your
God.
trash in your
Wow, another one.
Another knowledge,
Another
guys,
knowledge.
but it was a sad one. We didn't know that, but now it's the reason why there's no trash cans around, right?
They, some bad guys or terrorists can use that because they are a very rich country, right? They want to destroy the country, and I hope that incident won't happen again.
until you come to a public trash can. Number 2, KFC for Christmas. Some people celebrate Christmas, while
I love
some
KFC.
don't, and celebrations vary across the world. In the United States, for example, eating a stuffed turkey with potatoes
Turkey.
and maybe some
Stuffed
apple pie
turkey,
or eggnog for
stuffed
dessert is
turkey.
the way to go. Many would say that homemade food is the best, and it should be preferred over takeout during the holidays. But Japan is a bit different. People in Japan follow a long tradition of getting KFC for Christmas. I know it's fast
I
food,
want to
but
do
hey,
that.
you
Yeah.
gotta admit that their fried chicken is pretty great. But why exactly do Japanese people prefer KFC? In fact,
Yeah.
they prefer it so much that an
Yummy.
estimated 3.6 million Japanese families buy
Because
fried
it's
chicken from the American fast food chain.
Oishi.
The story goes
Oishi.
that the manager of the very first
Wow.
KFC in the country, Takeshi Okawara, thought that they should sell a party barrel on Christmas Day. He
Wall
got the
fries.
idea after
I'm
overhearing
hungry.
some foreigners talk about how they missed having turkey for Christmas. And so he thought that maybe having a Christmas chicken can be a decent substitute for turkey. And so the marketing began. And it worked. It clicked with the public. And to this day, it's
Wow.
considered a national tradition. Unlike your usual
Oh.
KFC takeout, though, a Christmas barrel is a bit more special. Aside from the
Nice
usual chicken and
history
sides, the meals
or
include
story.
cake and wine. Pretty fancy, right? This
Yeah.
phenomena of buying a specific brand of takeout is unique to Japan. And I would bet
That's
that
hot.
you've never heard of this anywhere else in the world. I do like turkey for Christmas, but who knows? I might give KFC a try for the holidays.
Yeah,
And
why
before
not?
we go to our last entry, make sure to comment your favorite Christmas food below.
Okay,
Number
we'll
1,
comment later.
Ichiran Ramen.
Ichiran
people mention
ramen.
One of the number one things people think about is sushi, and of course ramen.
Christmas
Despite
Ramen.
being popular
food.
mostly in Japan,
Ramen.
people all around the world seem to like this food. And for good reason. Japanese ramen just always hits the spot.
Wow,
We all know the
yummy.
main foundation of good ramen is a great broth. Most Japanese restaurants prioritize making delicious and delectable soup. They can add many ingredients depending on the taste they're aiming for, like pork bones, shellfish, beef bones, fish, or even vegetables. Regardless of the variation, though, they always make sure that the bowl is
Oishi.
exploding with flavor. You're probably thinking,
Sarap.
but I can still eat ramen anywhere
Oishi.
else. So why is Ichiran ramen so special? Well, here's the thing. if you're an introvert whose idea for a perfect dinner on the way back home after work is to dine alone without being
I'm
judged,
introvert.
then the Ichiran Ramen restaurant will definitely be your paradise.
Oh, thank you.
Here,
Thank you.
in
Arigato.
Japan, slurping isn't
I need that.
considered rude. You can eat and
I'm
slurp the
introvert.
soup all you want. It's not disrespectful.
Wow.
On the contrary, it just means you're
It
enjoying
means
the food.
you love it and it's
In
yummy.
Ichiran, you can eat alone, and you're seated at a partitioned table. Anxious about
Oh,
ordering?
there's a
You don't need to be.
partition.
Unlike most restaurants,
Yeah,
where the staff
because
will stand beside
you're
you
introvert.
and
Yeah.
browse the menu. Here in Ichiran, you're given a pen and paper where you can customize the ramen according to your taste. Once you're done, a staff member will fetch your order and serve your food. While you're
Wow.
eating, they'll close the cover for maximum privacy. The best
Oh
thing,
my
you
God.
have
Perfect.
hot water right by your table. And most of the time, they give you some green tea so you can make your own as a complimentary drink with your ramen. Delicious food and privacy? Count me in.
Count me in.
So, are we having a little bit of culture shock? Or not at all? Japan's
A
pretty
little
amazing,
bit.
right? If you're
Yeah.
one of the lucky tourists that
Very
has
nice.
already visited Japan, we'd love to hear about your awesome experiences in the comments below. Also,
Yes.
check
Thank
out
you.
our other
Thank you so
content
much.
showing up on the screen right now. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.
Likewise.
That was really amazing video, guys. We've learned a lot that we haven't heard and we didn't know,
Yes.
right, from Japan.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the uploader has a question for us,
Mm-mm.
for the viewers actually. What's your favorite food in Christmas?
Same. I love fried chicken, spaghetti, and pizza.
Wow.
Yeah, the three. How about you?
I want cake.
Oh,
Okay,
You
I
love
want
sweets.
cake, of course, pizza and chicken. That's
Yeah.
for me. How about you guys? Please comment down. Okay, well, anyway, I hope that you appreciate this reaction video that we've did today. If you do so, please consider to give us thumbs up and so YouTube would recommend us into a wider viewer. That would help us to grow more channel.
And if you're new to our channel, please do subscribe, like, and share our reaction videos.
Don't forget as well to hit the notification bell, the tiny bell, so that you'll be updated every time we have new videos.
Batsam desu.
Kat Mimi desu.
See you guys on our next reaction videos.
Love, peace. Mwah. Bye for now. Itsumo owen arigatou gozaimasu. Mata mitine.
Arigatou gozaimashita.